Namaskaram. Honorable members of the dais, respected members of the August gathering here, and friends, at the outset, I apologize for not being able to speak to in your language. It's really shameful for us that being a neighboring state, I'm not able to speak in your language, but you will have to bear with me. Let me express myself in the language which is neither mine nor yours. I'll speak in English for the benefit of of the guests here. I'm extremely happy to be here amidst you, and I understand that this particular place and this institution also is very much active in literary field. I understand that this village and this territory has given a number of writers to Malayalam. I'm very proud to be here, and it gives me a sense of elation as I stand here on the holy soil of Kerala that gave birth to some of the great exponents of Malayalam literature, rather Indian literature. Kerala was the first to open the account with Jnanapith, with G. Shankar Kurup, followed by 5 more writers whom I can name. Other than G. Shankara Kurup, then was Pottekkatt, S.K. Pottekkatt, then Thagri Shiv Shankar Pillai, then M.T. Vasudevan Nair, O.N.V. Kurup, and the last to bag the award, I don't have to take the name, do I? The last to bag the award was, yes, Akkitam Achyutan Nambudri. Sorry for that. We are celebrating here the great writers of Malayalam. Annually, I am told, and I am happy to be participating in this celebration. If I don't name some other writers whom I met before or whom I know through their writings, it will be injustice. So I cannot ignore some of the writers, but I'll restrict to those who have won the Saraswati Samman, which is almost equivalent to Jnanapith. Saraswati Samman, the first one to bag, was none other than Balamani Amma. The next was Dr. Ayyappa Pandikkar, and then Sugata Kumari, and of late, recently, rather this year, it was Prabha Verma. So, I'm very proud, and you should be very proud that this state, Kerala, and the language Malayalam has given so much to Indian literature. As I pay my tributes to these Mahakavis, both Mahakavis, I must say that what better way can it be than to celebrate them in the august presence of a host of writers, and by holding an event, literary event of this kind. Friends, I'm a great admirer of Malayalam. I've been traveling and I've been noticing that Malayalam is a language spoken almost globally. So I was wondering earlier, I would have thought that everywhere people speak Malayalam, but then I realized it is the Malayalam people who are who go out of their territory, but wherever they go, they take their language with them. They speak the language, they read the language, they write in the language. That is why we have a host of writers who not only live in Kerala, but also abroad, and they continue to contribute to I'm happy to be here participating in the Valatol Jayanti and Akitam Sahityolsavam, where I get an opportunity to interact with the writers community, discuss and share the literary issues and views. As I entered this premises of this college, I already met some of the writers, some of the critics, some of the poets. I was very happy to be with them. Though this event is to honor the most esteemed writers of this country, Valatol Narayan Menon and Akitam Achyutan Nambudiri, it is also aimed at furthering the cause of literature as visualized by the Mahakavis, both of whose writings continue to inspire and influence the Malayalam writers. The purpose of such literary events is to promote reading habits, to bring writers and readers closer, to buy the books and to meet some of their favorite writers under one roof. For your knowledge, I am a curator, rather co-curator of another festival which is held in Goa, which is called Goa Art and Literature Festival. For the last 12 years, we are organizing this literature festival, and we invite people from all over. Some of the writers from this state also have attended. To name a few, I would say, is K.R. Meera also from this state? K.R. Meera is from Malayalam or Tamil? Yeah, so K.R. Meera, then Setu Madhavan, and so many others. I don't want to name them, but we have benefited by their knowledge and their participation. So I'm very happy that we are furthering this literary movement by organizing literary events of this kind. Friends, it also benefits that you get a better understanding of the life around you. You are at an advantage as most of the latest literature of other languages is available in translation into Malayalam. I'm really proud of this fact. I find that every good book that is produced in India and abroad is immediately translated into Malayalam and made available to the readers and writers. That is the reason the standard of Malayalam literature is very high today. And that is the reason why the best of the awards, national and international awards, have come to Kerala and to Malayalam writers. I hail from Goa, which is known as an exotic state. You probably know it as a touristic place. But most tourists who visit Goa carry wrong notions about Goa. How many of you, I do not know, how many of you have been to Goa? I know some of you have spent years together serving the people of Goa in the capacity of engineers or professors, teachers and others. But I do not know how many have gone to Goa as tourists. When you go to Goa as tourists, you come with some images. You think that Goa is full of people who are energetic, who dance in the streets, sing in the streets, they drink a lot, which is a wrong notion. We are as good people and as bad people as you people are here. We also have our own emotions. We love good life. We are compassionate people. We love to have a peaceful coexistence. And if I try to enumerate I can tell you a number of features which are common to Goa and Kerala. The first and foremost is the nature. The nature, the bounty of nature, the greenery which prevails in Kerala is the same one which you can see in Goa. So there many things are common. We are the fish eaters, we are the rice eaters, you too are. So we can strike so many similarities between Goan people and Malayalam people. But I am not going to dwell upon it. Because of the historical reason, Goa has suffered at the hands of the colonials, the Portuguese rulers, who banned, there was a point of time when they decided to ban the language. They banned the use of language not only in reading, also in speech. That was a big obstacle which prevailed in the development of the language. That is the reason why Konkani lagged behind in comparison with the rest of the mainstream Indian languages. But Goans are a very Purusharthi society. They came up with double vigor. Soon after liberation, the ones which they started breathing in fresh air, they immediately threw themselves open. And as a result of which, within a short span of time, the language of Goans, that is Konkani, has come up with great vigor. Today, we find as many books from Kerala, as many books in Malayalam are translated into Konkani, are also some Konkani books are also translated into other languages, including Malayalam. I'm very happy to tell you, my award-winning novel, Carmeline, has been translated into Malayalam. Two of my short story collections, maybe more, have been published in Malayalam. And I'm very happy that many readers in Kerala, they know me as a writer. That's a matter of pride for me. Kerala is a great literary place, but of late, many writers are concerned. I'm talking now about the global situation, or rather the situation, literary scenario in our country. Many writers are concerned about the extraneous factors that are grievously affecting literature. After many controversies that happened in our country, I don't have to tell you, all the critics and literary people are here, they are aware of it. What happened to Perumal Murugan? There was a time when he wrote his novel, Madhuru Bogan, that he was told to such an extent, he was threatened, and finally he declared that writer Perumal Murugan is dead. Why did this situation arise in our own free country? Later on it changed different because the court very firmly stood behind him. What happened to your writer, S. Harish, when he wrote Misha? You know what happened? He was trolled very badly. holding up the publishers also to take up the writings, free writings of bold writers. This should not happen. And how do we expect good literature to grow if writers are subjected to persecutions? We all speak of women emancipation. There was a time when women were not allowed to move freely. There was a time when women folks were subjected to many atrocities. There were so many taboos, but now time is changed. But do you think we celebrate Women's Day every year? But has the plight of women improved any more than what it was before? What happened to Nirbhaya case in Delhi? Has the thing stopped? The mass rapes, rapes stopped? What happened in Kolkata? What happened in Badlapur? Leave aside those what happened yesterday and day before yesterday. What happened yesterday in Jaipur? You are aware of it? Why it is happening? And we speak of women emancipation. Unless people raise their voice collectively, then only we will be able to make some impact. I don't say fully it will be stopped, but some impact. And I think it is a responsibility of a writer to express themselves against these atrocities happening to people. What happened when Manipur ladies disrobing and disgraceful parading in public, which was not prevented. Not only that, there was no voice heard, loud voice heard from any politicians in India. Why? This is very sad. What happened to Manipur, if we keep quiet, it will happen tomorrow to other states. It can happen to us in our states. So this is the reason why I think it is the responsibility of writers to tackle all these issues. Of course, it doesn't mean that he should be an activist and take to streets, but he has a powerful weapon. He can write and express his views. Now, internationally speaking, are we free? What is happening? Do you know that no school opened last year in Gaza? Leave aside the political aspect of it. What was the mistake of youngsters, 5 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, and 15 years old, students who were going to schools? Why schools did not open last year, and there is no hope that any school is going to reopen in near future. Why? Because no children are alive. They all are killed, or they are in the hospitals, they are injured, or they are fled the place, run away from the place. In spite of liberal voice in the international field, why do we keep quiet? Internationally, this is happening and people are quiet. This is where a writer's voice should be heard, or it should appear in our literature. One of the purposes of the festivals like this is to sensitize the literary enthusiasts to the burning issues around us, so that when we return home here, if we discuss these issues here, I raised all these issues not because I like them to raise, because I am painful. I experience pain within by reading about this, and I try to share with you so that when you go back you will go back with a renewed vigor to take to pen what you think would improve the quality of thinking and thereby quality of life. Writers are supposed to be the legislators of humanity. They make and endorse legislations that regulate the human performance, legislations not in the assembly, among the people. This is why we write, to cherish and uphold the fundamental rights and duties that are protected in our collective human consciousness. Our Mahakavis have played their role by defending the freedom of expression which they valued above everything else. This is why it is necessary to celebrate the writers, the legendary writers, the Mahakavis like Vallathol and Akkitam. They endeavored to endorse fraternity. They endeavored to endorse solidarity and unity. I am here to celebrate these two great Mahakavis, and in particular the Jnanpith awardee Akkitam. In his footsteps I am today. These people endeavored to write in Malayalam, not because they could not write in other languages, but they loved their language. And if you love your language passionately, nobody can withhold you from writing in your language and becoming a great writer. When you write in your mother tongue, in your language, you can easily reach out to the people, to the masses of this land. You can easily achieve the unity within your speech community. There are writers who write in two languages. Now, I know many writers who are Malayalam writers, they write both. Now, we have E.V. Ramakrishnan, who is a critic and a poet himself. He writes in Malayalam, but he is equally fluent in writing in English. We have K. Sachidanandan, who writes in Malayalam, but we can write equally well in English. We have many such writers. I remember when I met Shashi Deshpande, who is a very well-known English language writer. When I met her, I asked her a question. Why do you choose to write in English when your mother tongue is Marathi? She said, and her answer was really good. She said, I don't choose the language. The language chooses me to write. Of course, if you feel like writing in any language, at the same time you don't turn back to your language, that is fine. You know Kamala Das. Kamala Das, I had an opportunity to meet her on this soil in Cochin some years back, maybe about 25 years back. That time she said openly, and I quote Kamala Das, I know 3 languages. I write in 2 languages, but I dream in 1 language. This is very important. Keep dreaming in your language and choose any language to write. Both these Mahakavis, Mahakavi Vallathol and Mahakavi Akkitam, they wrote in their mother tongue. Not only wrote in their mother tongue. You know why language is important? Language is a major component of any culture. If you want to keep up your ethos, the Malayalam culture, then you have to preserve your language. That is the reason precisely why Akkitam and Vallathol, they strived to keep up the language and keep up the ethos. That is why Vallathol was prompted to patronize Kalamandalam. I think he was the founder, if I mistake not. What Akkitam did is the same thing. He strived hard to keep up the language, keep up the culture, the Malayalam culture. And this is the primary objective, primary responsibility of any writer, I believe. Friends, I think I have spoken enough, and I don't know whether I bored you. As we commemorate these 2 lofty writers, we need to ponder over our achievements. As writers, have we grown over the years, over the decades? while we push ourselves towards a progressive mindset for a collective consciousness, we see that certain socio-religious, politically motivated, divisive forces, instead of pushing for fraternity, instead of pushing for brotherhood, equality, leading the herd like folks to disharmony, trying to divide the society. The role of literature is to do away with the othering. It has to strive to build unity. Both these writers, those Mahakavis, whom we are celebrating today, were the messiahs of peace. And I believe, and I repeat, love and compassion are the two emotions, two things that we should not turn our back to. And if we observe, we continue to love and be passionate to the other, the peace will automatically follow. I read that Valatol had imbibed the values as preached by Jesus Christ, and also that he was a keen follower of Mahatma Gandhi. When I read this, I was a bit concerned. I said, how come Bhagwan Buddha, Lord Buddha has not appeared? Because it was the Lord Buddha who was a founder of this thought of universal peace, universal love and compassion. But I think it was within them. That is why they wanted to further their emotions, and that is why they followed Jesus Christ and later Mahatma Gandhi. I strongly believe that writers need to become fighters. We have to adorn the role of becoming a fighter. Fighter doesn't mean that we need some guns or swords to fight our battles. No. We have a much better and a powerful tool, that is pen. Let's put it to use. I thank you all for getting me here to express my views. Actually, this is an excuse for me to come here to celebrate these two Mahakavis. I would rather not go behind, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward towards a better society to come into being, a better world in which our children will live. And it is up to you to use your pen effectively to bring up a good society. Thank you very much.